Hello, everyone, all my Royal Mystic Vibe Tribers, welcome. We are doing our beautiful Royal Mystic Collective Wisdom podcast today. It is our second episode in season 4, and we are welcoming today Donna Norris, a dear friend of Royal Mystic, who was with me from jump, literally. we took a
Yeah.
class. We took a class in tarot together and ended up being friends. And she is in the fabulous Key West that we are going to attend in January. She is very close to the location where we'll be, and she is a fabulous, wonderful mystic herself. So I'd like to introduce Donna Norris, the Seaside Mystic.
Thank
Tell
you.
them a little bit
Thank
about yourself, Donna.
sure, absolutely. I'm so excited for you guys to come to my little island and play and learn new things and raise our vibration. It's an awesome place here. It's magical. But for me, what I do here for the most part is animal communication. I also do mediumship and psychic readings. I am a Reiki healer. So oftentimes that gets integrated into the mix and have a tendency to throw out crystal prescriptions too. I'm a crystal healer as well. So
Oh,
anyway, that's the mix of it for now.
isn't it interesting how we came to all these different things after that moment of our mentorship with Sharon Michelle?
Yes.
It just opened us up to things, modalities that we didn't know existed,
And
and,
who knew at the time it would be such a major pivot point, right?
right, right, and so I'll out myself as being someone who was super afraid of people knowing what my gift was, and, Donna can testify to that. I was very petrified and, very much hiding in the background in the corner, trying not to be seen, and having the camera very much off of me. I didn't wanna be looked at, and I didn't want anybody to know I had the gift, so I was definitely in hiding when I came in there, and, all of my wonderful friends who were with me, including Donna, helped me to overcome some of my fears and, to stand in my power as they helped me to step into that energy, and I can't thank her more now than ever because, of course, this is where we are in this world is really in need of our services, our ability to help people get out of their own way, basically, and to give them the information to help them focus where they're going. So I'm interested in the animal healing. You do that remotely, correct?
Yes, pretty much everything I do is remote, especially since COVID. It seemed like the world went to Zoom and, you know,
Yeah.
communication, Skype, and things like that. So, yeah, most of my readings, be they living animals or deceased, are on Zoom.
Yes, and I mean, I went to remote before the great and powerful
Yeah,
pause, because I wanted to be able to reach the world, and, that's how I do it. So, really, I don't think that's a limitation. In fact, I think that's a wonderful strength, and thank goodness we got Zoom, because when I first started, all you could do was Skype. Skype or
right.
WhatsApp or and those had their drawbacks on being able to record because that's something you wanna do for people is give them the ability to rewatch the event so that they can have a place of peace. Because when we're doing a reading, I know you've noticed when people get nervous and so when they're not right there and we can record it and send it to them and have it all done, that way they can sit in their comfort and not be feeling like they're on the spot, right?
Exactly.
And
Yeah.
that allows them to do that.
Sort of like you were in the first few classes that we were in together, that deer in the headlights. That's
Oh,
how you
man.
are in a reading. Even us, when we
Yes.
have readings, we're
Yes,
just like
yeah, I
so high.
remember teaming
Magic.
up. That's yeah.
Yeah.
Whenever we would go so Sharon Michelle, who I hope to have as the next guest on here, she'll definitely be here, I just don't know if I can get her as soon as I want her, but we'll see, I'm trying to schedule that now. She was doing readings and y'all have all heard me talk about with the witchery, because I actually took her place when she left there, she retired and just started doing her own private stuff. Um, I had to be able to sit there and do it, but when I went the first few times, I was scared to even go into the store, right? And I think a lot of people are intimidated by what they don't understand, and they think it is something that's gonna jump off onto them,
Yeah, yeah, you're
right?
right.
And that's the whole thing is this is already in you, my darlings. You already are mystical, magical, and spiritual. So, it's just opening the door for you to be able to step into it. And,
Trust me.
I have a whole story, about how I moved through that process with her, but more personally, it was the readings. There's Jack doing the downward dog back there. That's his couch. If you guys, hear him in the background when I'm doing reading. How did you know what you wanted to do in your spiritual life? How did you know you were gonna be a medium? And how did you, find it within yourself? How did you trust it and move forward in it and bring it to a place where you are actually actively doing it? There's a lot of
Oh
people out there
gosh.
feeling the same way, so one thing at a time, we'll break
Yeah.
it down. So, how did you come
Well,
about finding out that that was gonna be your thing? How were you attracted to it? How did it first introduce itself?
well, it seems like it came in nudges and fits and spurts, if you will. Um, I began 2014 though on a quest, really like seeking higher wisdom. I came to understand, the truth that, divine exists within all of us and to trust in that. And along those lines, I knew I wanted to be of service. Several people over the years had told me that I'm a natural medium and that that's something that I should pursue, but I also enjoyed things like tarot cards and psychic work and, animal communication and just different things. So I was on just a learning quest. And that's part of what led me to the class with Sharon Michelle where we met. And
Yes.
that was all about psychic development, and then launched into tarot cards when you joined us at that point. And so it went from there. But since then, I've just been almost full time in pursuit of more learning, become certified as a Reiki healer, as a crystal healer, developing my psychic abilities more and mediumship a whole lot more. And then I really got into my passion for animals through soul level animal communication. I
Okay.
love that. I've been doing that for several years now.
So, let's talk to the people who are, in pursuit of that themselves or maybe want to acknowledge that. So, what would you say was the moment you realized that this was real? Because that's a hard thing for us, right? To
Yeah.
acknowledge that and to let yourself have permission to do it, to actually do it. So, was it in the process of the classes or did something happen for you? Like, was there an event you could pinpoint?
I would have premonitions and precognitive dreams, and I would wake up, and that state of being where you're almost awake, not really, just starting to wake up. And I would have visitations, and I would get messages, and then I would follow up with the person that the message was for, and the validation was invariably there. And so I thought, there really is something to this. These
I
these
think
people are because I didn't know them from Adam when they first came to me. And
right,
they gave me their identifying information, plenty of evidence for the people to know that, I wasn't making this stuff up.
right,
Most of the people were folks I never would have known because they were dead long before I ever met, whatever friend it was that needed the message. So it worked out. That's really what set me on the path. And then I was at a conference one weekend with my sister at in Austin. We met there, and Hay House used to do these traveling road shows with all kinds of mystics and healers and stuff over a weekend. It's called an I Can Do It conference, and we
okay.
were attending one. And a gentleman walked up to me, and I was standing talking to my sister just a few feet away, and he tapped me on the shoulder and he said, "Look, I've been trying to forestall this." He said, "But they just won't let me rest." And he said, "I have a message I need to deliver for you." And my
Ooh,
sister and I looked at each other and we're like, "Okay." And he goes, "I'm here to tell you that you're a healer and that you're ready." And
that's
I looked
awesome.
down at the lanyard, the name tag of this guy, Raphael. just like
Wow.
the archangel. The next
Wow.
speaker in our little lineup, after we picked our jaws up off the floor, we were like, what? And we looked back to ask him another question, and he was gone. As fast as he showed up, he just disappeared. So we walked into the next speaker in the lineup, who at that time was Doreen Virtue, and they used to call her the Angel Lady. And
Right?
she just proceeded to do a whole hour of talking about, healing work and doing readings for people. And in the middle of all that, she introduced one of her helpers for the event, named Heather Hildebrand, who is another very well-known psychic medium who comes from Texas. And I
Yes.
knew her. She was from my hometown. So when I got back, I looked her up and started working with her as well. And then,
Yes.
of course, got in touch with Sharon Michelle, and the rest is history.
Isn't it amazing how it was all right
Yeah.
there within your reach? And,
And then it
you didn't
just
have
was
to
like,
go find it,
this is,
it was right there, yeah,
mhm,
and that's the thing, I think is the strongest is we have to take just one step in the direction of faith, and
yeah,
then everything follows through. Just like for me to go to that class, it was something that I it was another class member who,
yeah.
told me about it, and, I did it basically begrudgingly and forgot that I had had tarot cards when I was 10 years old and threw them away until we got in there and I started channeling.
Girl, they sang to you. Are you kidding me? This is
Yeah, they
amazing.
I started talking and didn't even realize that I was, like, totally, oblivious that everybody had turned around in the room and was looking at me, a gag or agog, just, ugh.
You were in your zone. You still
Yeah, I was
are.
10 years
Yeah.
old and didn't know how to use them. So, yeah, they came right back though, that's what's the thing, and I had forgotten, I'd blocked it because it had scared me, and that's you gotta remember, I just wanna say this to encourage everyone, even if you had the gift before and you think it's gone because you didn't use it, that's not true. All you have to do is step back into the faith of it and let yourself step into because you were born with this, beautiful destiny in front of you. This is what you signed up for, right?
That's
And now that you're doing it, how different do you feel about your day to day and everything? That's something else that people stick themselves in a 9 to 5 and are miserable until they find their way forward. So give us a little bit
yeah.
about how much different your life is because you have now started this venture.
Yeah, my new normal is so
Yeah,
much more peaceful. I feel more confident. I know I can tap into spirit at any time, tap into my higher self and my guides at any time, and I feel very supported, which is something I didn't have. I
it's
didn't
true.
have
You
any
don't feel
even
like you're all
remote
by yourself
support.
anymore. Yeah, yeah,
Right,
that's
right.
a
And
huge thing.
so after all those years of feeling like it's me against the world, I know now that it's not, and I can trust in that. Yeah.
And I wanna say that having the community of people who are like you is something very different as well, because you're going through most of your life with nobody else that has experienced what you've experienced until you meet this group of people who are like-minded and have even though their skills and their abilities are different, they can
Hmm.
relate to what you're having happen and support you in that. So just what I found was the community that we
Yeah.
now have together. In fact, our little we just had a little gathering that we all can see each other as and from that point and now see each other here where we are now. And I think that's amazing. So and you I
Yeah.
have to give you some gratitude for that because you are a great support to me as well. And, having someone believe in you really matters. And I believe in you as well, and I hope you feel that support from me because I feel like you are just doing some tremendous work with people and their emotions and healing them in a way that lets them make peace and move forward and change. Because that's the hardest thing. If we get stuck in the change, then we're in a rut. So,
Exactly. Yeah.
yeah.
It helps to
And
take the blinders off. Sometimes
yes.
you can't see where you're stuck because you're focused on the whatever feel like the problem might be, and it almost gets like suctioned up to your face, right?
Yes.
So
Yes, that's a good
sometimes
explanation.
like the
Is your
nose.
nose is on the canvas so far that you're actually embedded
Yeah,
in it. Yeah, it's like a tree, it can't see its roots in the ground. The dirt's in the way, right?
exactly.
But the
But yeah,
dirt's necessary. This 3D realm is necessary. And, I think it's amazing how we move forward. So, um, Donna is in Key West right now, and it is probably very windy there, and you'll see every now and then she'll glitch a little bit because everything in Key West, it's an island,
yeah,
and, the all the internet stuff providing, this service is in the air. So so sometimes it just freezes up a little, but it's coming back. I just wanted to let y'all know. And she is the expert of Key West. When I did my meditation and came out, they told me to call Donna and see if she could see what was going on at the local little place she had been telling me about, and it's Moreno's. And she went next door, and I had given her dates, and they had those dates available. So I want to talk about a little bit about what we're going to be doing there. Donna's my go-to person, so she's going to help me to, like, get together what places we can go eat, and the things that we're going to do are going to be amazing. We're also got a little surprise that might involve a pirate ship. So
hey,
yeah, she's helping me liaison all of this good
yeah.
stuff. And I think it's going to be such an amazing way to start off our year. And that's the intention behind it, is to get ourselves in a place where we put ourselves in the situation that we want to be in, and then we adapt our lives to walk that path without hesitation, knowing that it's possible. So getting in that energy of shedding and healing and understanding, and allowing ourselves to really wholeheartedly put ourselves out there to live our best possible life in our spiritual way. And I have so many things planned. It's a lot to talk about, but there's going to be a lot of new well, we'll call them celebrations. They're not so much well, they're ceremonies, but not in a way of what you might call a ceremony. It's more about a celebration of doing things a specific way, and that way we're always in the energy of accepting with gratitude and joy, rather than trying to block something from hurting us or harming us or falling into that old pattern. Because when we throw the shields up, we're also shielding ourselves from our blessing, right? So that's part of what we're gonna be doing in January, and Donna's a great part of that. And I just wanted to bring her in and let you guys meet her, because you can find her at the seasidemystic.com, and she's open and available for appointments. And you can get your fur babies help by letting her communicate with them through the great spiritual connection. Remember, animals are part of the 2D realm, because they come in with that animal and plant life energy, and we are 3D because we have the cognitive energy of self-realization, right? And us relating to our animals helps them to actually align with the higher frequency, where when they cycle through, they come back in human form if we've done a good job of integrating them. So Donna has a beautiful energy of clearing she can do. She can help with the healing energy if you've got a sick animal. She's got the energy to help you do all kinds of different things. I know she's very well read and has gone through so many different wonderful in-person retreats, and learned a lot of different modalities. So what's the typical person coming to see you? What's going on with them? And I know we talked a little bit about how people think you have to have the animal in person. So tell me a little bit about that.
No, well, it's really not necessary to have the animal there or to do this kind of work in person. People come in for a variety of reasons. Sometimes they're concerned about, all of a sudden their animal's just not acting the same way they usually do. Or they know they're sick, or they know that they're approaching perhaps the last chapter of their life, and then, they want to find out if there's anything that they need, or is there anything else they can do, and those kinds of things. Then there are those who have lost loved ones, human loved ones, that who
Yes.
they want to contact as well. And so it's all the same. Spirit is spirit, and energy is energy. And so it's just a which wavelength that I dial into to collect information from the animal, from a person, or living or deceased. They're all just different wavelengths. So
Yes, it's like a truly
yeah,
is like a radio, being a radio receiver, right?
yeah,
And being able
they run
to
it.
listen.
True, that's exactly it. You just dial in, get your
Yeah.
frequency.
And that's through practice. That's I tell people all the time, it's, you might get lucky the first couple of times you throw yourself out there and like you said, get a premonition and you go, "Oh, that's cool," but you don't know how to control it. Well, the way to control it is practice. That's you get yourself used to getting into a specific energy. So do you find it harder to get into the, human energy versus the animal? I would think animals would be easier because they have a lot less baggage.
Yeah, animals don't have this whole ego hang up thing. They don't have mind games that they play. Their intent is very pure. In some ways, I believe that animals are more evolved than humans because they've already mastered unconditional love. They
Yes,
know from their soul contract, either with us directly or with the planet as a whole, as the species as a whole. They come in knowing that they're coming in service to this beautiful planet and to us. So they're excited to be heard. Who doesn't
yes,
like to feel heard?
yes,
So it's really fun for them, and they're usually really pure in their intent. They're very forthright and forthcoming in their communication. It's very seldom that I get a shy animal. Now with people and human spirits, yeah, if they're shy in real life, they're not going to be, gregarious and outgoing on the other side. They're going to come through with that same energy, and if they had baggage, that some of that stays with them even as they're on the other side learning to work through that so that they can continue with their evolution. We're none of us perfect, so we just have to figure out where they are and learn how to listen, pick up on the cues.
that's really wonderful, and I look so much forward to seeing you in person in about a month and a half from now, and,
Yes.
it's gonna be amazing. I hope all of
Yeah.
you can join us. If you'll look down at the bottom of the screen, you'll see the royalmystic.com logo, which is telling you can get all your information there, and if you have any questions, then you can also contact me from royalmystic.com. At the bottom, it says "Contact Us," and if you send me a message, I will answer. And I am more than grateful to have had Donna here, and we're gonna have a blast at the end of January, and I hope you are as excited as I am. I know you are because we talk about
Uh,
it almost every other day, so at
yeah.
least once a week for sure. And, I love you, and I'm glad you decided to join me, and thank you for accepting so that we could do this wonderful podcast
Uh,
together. And,
so many
I'm
wonderful
just
things
over the
to do.
moon. I'm sorry I was
Yeah.
talking over you.
All right. There's so many wonderful things to do here. From sailing, snorkeling, we do all the water activities. We have wonderful museums as well, and lots of history here.
Yeah, and
Terrific food, just about any kind of food you could want. And
there's
I've
an
been.
airport on Key West. I was shocked. I did not know there was an international airport in Key West. So you don't have to fly somewhere and drive. You can fly direct in. And it is a quaint little community. It's legendary for its musings and a lot of different inspired events and people that come from Key West. Right? It has its
Yep.
own little energy going. And I'm excited to be there because I think it's gonna be an amazing energy, and I hope all of you can at least, look at the thing we have to offer, the retreat, and I think if you wanna come, there's only a few spots available, so please do it now if you're planning on it at all, and, we'll be there to greet you. So
It'll
many
be great.
blessings to you all. Thank you for being here, and any closing words, Miss Donna?
Oh gosh, this is the best possible gift you could give yourself to kick off 2024. We are going to have an amazing time.
It is. It
Magical,
is it's
mystical
an investment in
time
yourself.
party. Yeah, it
Yeah.
is. Yeah.
And I just
So
wanna
please
also remind people that don't know, in Florida, it's very Caribbean weather. So in the middle of January when you're freezing your hoo-haws off,
at home.
you
I'm
might
sure.
really want that break. Yeah. We don't wanna be freezing it off over there. So, it's very warm and very, very tropical, and, there will be a heated pool. So, yeah, we are
Closed
gonna
toes
have a great
are
time.
optional here. They're not required. Closed toe shoes in the winter still just an
Oh,
option.
still flip-flops. Yeah, man.
Yeah.
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 So, yay
All
team.
right.
All right. I hope to see y'all there, and I'll see you next week when we do our next podcast. Namaste,
Bye.
everyone.
Thank you.
Bye-bye. Love you.
Till next time.